Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button for me. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen, I'm going to tell you about a feel-good story about something that could have ended in tragedy. But, you know, luck strikes in the most inopportune times. There's a story out of Jacksonville that occurred on April 17th, in which a 2-year-old girl wound up leaving out of the house. Parents were looking for her. She winds up falling into a retention pond behind the home. This girl drowned herself. Luckily, they found her floating in time. They pulled her out of the water. Some random strangers came, and they came and resuscitated her and brought her back to life. Now, I'm going to tell you something, guys. Out here in the world, we're taught to have certain life skills. But there's also certain life-saving skills that we need to learn. And one of them is CPR. And this video right here, I tell you why this skill is important. Take a look.
Normally we get right to it, but before we show you anything with this next story, we want to tell you before we go any further, the 2-year-old you are about to see is alive and safe.
It's all because of CPR. This jarring video captures the heroic acts of a police officer and others rushing to help the 2-year-old who fell into a retention pond and was not breathing. Video shows the team effort to save her.
That little girl is alive today because strangers knew what to do.
News4JAX anchor Jennifer Watt takes us through a day that started normally, then turned into anything but.
James Sizemore was out in this Southside neighborhood walking Zeus and Mateo when a woman came up to him and asked if he had seen her daughter and needed help. He and the little girl's mother immediately ran to the closest pond and spotted the 2-year-old face down.
She was floating about 6 inches under the water, and just a little bit of her shirt was floating on the top of the water.
This is the fire department. What's the address of your emergency?
Another neighbor called 911.
A neighbor, her kid was in the pond, and I don't think she's breathing.
The mother started giving compressions, and I started getting breaths.
Is the patient in or out of the water?
She's out of the water.
Out of the water. Is she breathing?
No, I don't think so. Still trying to do CPR.
Can you feel or hear her breathing?
They say she's not.
I just started praying to God that this wasn't her time.
All right, just make sure that they have her flat on her back.
Hey, get up here. Get her where it's flat. They say get her where she's flat.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Officer Chris Bruns is now there. He says his training just kicked in.
Yeah, get rescue in here now. I started doing CPR. She was soaking wet. Another neighbor ran up.
Dr. Patricia Baroza is in the yellow top. She happened to be pulling into her neighborhood when Officer Bruns was rushing in.
Immediately stepped in and I took over CPR.
Yeah, the officers have taken over the CPR. Ambulance just pulled up.
Pick her up, let's go.
You can see Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Engineer Todd Kirschbaum and Lieutenant Jamie Dunlap rush the 2-year-old to the rescue unit.
She wasn't breathing. She still had a pulse, fortunately. So we hooked her up to all of our machines and all the things that we do back here. Everybody worked quickly.
Then the best thing happened. The 2-year-old started to cry.
A crying baby is a breathing baby and is an alive baby, so we are happy with that.
How did everyone react?
Oh my gosh, we were literally clapping and praising the baby for thank you, just, you know, yay, and just cheering her on.
How did CPR make the difference, do you think?
The bystanders, JSO, everyone that was involved before we were able to get there played a role in saving this child's life.
These first responders thankful for the others' part in bringing the 2-year-old back and for the strangers who chose to act. How is it that you were here at the right time, that you were behind the officer, that you let him in, that you decided to follow, that you got here and you were able to help save this child?
Honestly, divine intervention.
Have you thought about the fact that you helped save a life? What's that like for you? How does that make you feel?
Honestly, in my theology, it wasn't her time to go.
2 hours and 40 minutes after James helped pull that little girl from this pond, she was responding and talking at the hospital. Just incredible. You know, he wasn't even supposed to still be out. He had stopped to talk to some neighbors. He doesn't even live on that street. And Patty, she normally would have gone to the gym that night, but decided to come home instead. Thankfully, both of them knew exactly what to do because they had learned CPR and didn't hesitate to use it. Jennifer Waugh, Channel 4, the local station.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Well, the little girl's mother, as you can imagine, just too shaken to talk with us, but we can tell you, she told Sizemore she thinks the wind blew her front door open, and that's how her 2-year-old wandered outside.
It can just happen in a blink. Now, Sizemore told Jennifer Waugh he is now the little girl's unofficial uncle, and he joked that when she grows older, he will be vetting all of her boyfriends, and her mother will be very grateful for that. That's for doggone sure.
She just gained a whole support group in that instance.
There's always been a thing about children being attracted to water. And luckily for this baby here, she was lucky. But a lot of times, it doesn't turn out that good. Whether you say God was on the side or it was luck, something put those people in that position, in that place and time to show up and help out and bring that girl back to safety. And that's a good thing. I salute those people for doing that. No matter what it is, you know, you never know what you'll do when you're put in certain situations, or if you see like a child injured or hurt, or, you know, a site is being pulled out of a lake. That's a shocking look. A lot of people just respond instinctually, no matter who you are. A lot of times people want to help. They jump in and do something. You had a nurse out there, you had EMTs, you know, coming, police were there, and they all were doing different things opposite of what they were supposed to be doing or being in places they were supposed to be. But for some unfortunate circumstances, it all brought them together. That's a good thing. They answered the call and they did the right thing. I have no problem with that. But like I was saying, it could have been really bad. I didn't do this video, but I want to make, you know, just talk about it a little bit. Out there in South Indianapolis, a 2-year-old girl went missing, and her body was found in a retention pond. And her name is Anna Mandanda. She did not survive. She's pictured here. You know, it's sad. You know, I did a feel-good story, but the opposite, you know, is people left in grief. And it's heartbreaking. I mean, you got a 2-year-old child, don't know what they're going to be, regardless if it's a boy or girl. People love their children. And to have something like this, unfortunately, happen, and, you know, kids get out of the house, kids do things. It's tragic. You heard what the lady said about the little girl that, you know, a story we're doing right now. The wind blew the door open. Little girl just took out both. Pew! How many times you seen that in grocery stores? Little kids, especially little boys, they get around 1 or 2 when they're really mobile and they get their balance. It's like their mobility is like a new toy. They can't wait to run, take off, jump up and down, do all kind of crazy stuff. Take off. Parents got to chase them. It's just normally what kids do when they're young and they're discovering their skill set and what they're doing. But it just brings light to what CPR is, and, you know, why it's vital for everybody to know it. You know, we were taught this at a young age. YMCA, they taught us CPR. And EMTs, you know, shouldn't be the only people that possess this skill. Anytime something comes up, you'll never know when you run into a situation like that. None of them people thought they would walk into a situation where they would have to save a baby that drowned in a retention pond. But they were there and they were prepared. That's the thing about life, man. You got to be prepared. And I'm glad everything worked out. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I just ate that, excuse me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.